perform, nice outing and a win. How much fun was that today?
Man, it's great. That's what you imagine. You kind of hope for when you put on a Cubs jersey is pitching at Wrigley, Cubs uniform on, and Friday day game. It's special. It's iconic, and to do it with this team and these guys that have been just so great at welcoming me in was a lot of fun. Just go out and compete, and in that atmosphere was it's just baseball.
What was the big difference today? With the sinker, one thing it was really working last time. You said it was up a little bit. Kind of what work did you do between kind of find more of a rhythm this time?
Yeah, I think coming back from an injury, it's always a process, and probably wasn't as bad as my stat line last time, and probably wasn't as good as my one this time, and it's just one of those things where you just have to you just keep finding ways to get better. I think in between starts, there were some simple things that we worked on. I think Tommy's really good at just communicating things in a simple way, and just one or two things we were just trying to nail this week, and we were able to do that. And I think step by step, I'll eventually get back to the pitcher I know I can be. Obviously, I feel good and I feel like the stuff's there, but just getting that final little bit back is the hardest part. And so it's a process, and I'll keep working. But it was nice to go out today and get the results that we want and help this team win. It's just you put the work in, and it's just nice to see some results.
You just alluded to it, but what does the 6 up and downs mean for a pitcher to get their stamina back?
Yeah, I think it's in this type of environment where each pitch is is stressful, and to do that and 6 or 7 ups is another thing I haven't done yet. So it was just good to feel that again, honestly. And so there's a lot of that coming back from the rehab process where you feel like you're just continuing to build, and eventually here soon I'll kind of be past all that. But for the meantime, it's good to feel those things and check them off and know that you're capable. And so, like I said, I'm just glad to be a part of this group and have this help around me, and just keep trying to get better.
As Bruce was saying, you were dealing there earlier, with the 16 or so, whatever it was, that you retired in a row. Was that the kind of rhythm that you've been in before when you were with the Mets or elsewhere? It was just like, a lot in a row.
Yeah. When I feel like I'm, where I need to be, it does. It feels like getting the ball on the ground is, becomes natural. I feel like, that's where I was at today. I was able to, make enough pitches, the slider and sweeper, and for the sinker, just to kind of create a mix and get people on the ground. And that's always a goal for me is try to get a ground ball within 3 pitches, and let's move on to the next batter. So when I'm able to do that, things do feel natural, and it's good to feel that because it does feel like that's who I am out there.
You talked about the environment. What was it like walking off to the ovation that you got? Kind of looked like you gave the crowd a tip of the cap. What was kind of that moment like for you?
Yeah, it's anytime you get traded in season, I think there's an adjustment period, but even taking the field today, you feel the environment, you feel the fans, just how much they appreciate just the Cubs players, and especially me, and just to hear them cheering and kind of really taking me in, and just hear the cheers and the encouragement was huge. And I think just going out and be able to give a performance like that for the team and for the fans, it just feels good because you feel the passion they have here, and you just feel that they love baseball and they love winning baseball. And so it's just fun to be a part of that, and it was definitely a warm welcome to Wrigley.
With Edward Cabrera coming back Sundays, what Craig said, just what's that level of excitement like with the rotation group knowing Kevin and you were here, Edward's coming back, and the way the other guys are pitching right now?
Yeah, I think it really just with all the pitching have, it just kind of elevates everybody really. It's just when you have this much talent, this many pitchers, it just really just the tide raises all the boats. I mean, really, everybody, you have to put in your work, and you want to pull on the rope and do your part. And to have, obviously, a pitcher like him coming back with his stuff is a huge boost. And so I think all of us, we feel that, and we just want to go out and do our part and really help this team, and we know what we're capable of.